Blitzers, Nerf Clan, welcome back to the channel. We are discussing the VK168 German Super Heavy Premium Tank. Available in the stores for 2 more days for 5,500 gold, and they got a bundle on it as well. I got mine on Black Friday for I think 4,000 gold, and I have to admit I'm quite happy with this tank. We're going to compare it to the VK100P in the intermission between 2 games. This is myself, Ronan, driving here in Black Goldville. Playing kind of half dumb, but using the armor of this behemoth. And then we got Bane in a terrific game that you don't want to miss. So starting right off, I get, of course, shot in the side. The tank's side armor, as I will go into depth, is not great. You just got to angle it. And if you do like to play this game, don't do what I just did there. That was about a dumbass move as you can make. Of course, I bounced already 865 damage by just kind of being lucky, and I also got penned twice. So what I just did there works. The problem with the tank is the camo for both the VK168 and the VK100P. The camo sucks, so you got to not do what I just did. However, you can be a bully and aggressive with the tank, which is kind of how I like to play the game. And I'm going to show you that right here. Now, the big question with this tank is it worth it? You know, and I actually am a huge proponent of tech tree tanks being just as good as their gold counterparts or their premium counterparts. However, for most case tanks, there's a lot of arguments to use the premium tanks. I can give you many examples. But oftentimes there are tanks just as good. A great example is the French premium, I can't even remember the name of it, the AMX blah, 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 something 49, which to me is an inferior version of the Tiger II. However, this tank isn't inferior to the VK100P. Should you just buy it? Well, there are some subtle differences here, and ultimately what I would actually recommend is you do buy this tank for a couple of reasons. One, as Bane has been saying forever, it is just a blast to play with. And 2, for gravity mode, there is just nothing better. Because the tank makes you a killer amount of credits on top of the fact that it's a hulking beast. And so for gravity mode and all these special modes, a lot of fun. All right, I'm gonna jump into this game. It's actually kind of a runaway game. Again, and stick around. I got a great comparison for you between the 2 tanks in a second. So I got 2 Tigers sitting there looking at me. 2 Tiger 2s, obviously not the greatest of players. One of the things I love about the tank, and in the comparison I'll talk about, is the aim time is just fantastic. The aim time for the tank is 2.17 seconds, around 2 seconds. And it really does help when you're shooting at 100 meters or so. You can get shots that otherwise I've struggled with the 100P on, especially after it was nerfed quite a while ago now. And then now, as you see there, I pound the Tiger. I knew he was done, and I'm moving on to my next victim. I already have 2,400 damage here, and there comes an RU-251, and this is just this right here shows you the aim time. Load up HE, aim at the ass, shoot, and there's a 598 roll. I mean, one of the things about both these tanks, the 100P and the 168, they got 460 alpha heat. That makes HE about 600. So you could really just annihilate, eviscerate, and destroy a lot of smaller tanks. Finally, this T-34 2GT decided to come out and get shot in the face. He's dead. And now I'm pushing on the KV-4. I will say, this tank weight is just monstrous. And if you realize what it is, it's essentially a Mausen with a turret mounted backwards. I don't know the history of the tank, did not go to that level of research. And I got to give a quick credit to DarthBane, who does, as I said, have our second replay, because Bane has been a proponent of this tank ever since it came around. I actually doubted it, and the reason I doubted the tank are the weaknesses it has on huge sides with relatively low armor. And so this game's over. We absolutely just annihilated the team. And a gameplay note in Black Goldville, when you go town here or village, whatever it is, you're not going to win very often. I mean, going to the A side, if you will, of cap is the way to go. Now this shot, I don't know what happened there. I think I missed my shot, and somebody else stole it. Didn't matter. I still was able to pick up the ace with 3,900 damage and 3 kills with 1203 base XP. And honestly, that tank made the mastery seems relatively easy. All right, well, let's compare these 2 in Blitz stars real quick. And as you see here, we have the VK168 on the left and the 100P on the right. As you look at their firepower, it is identical. You look at their weapon handling. The advantage in the weapon handling is actually slightly better for the VK168 with a 2.17 aim time versus 2.63 on the VK100P. That is a significant difference. There's a slight difference on movement rotation. I don't think that matters, but that is possible advantage for the 100P. In terms of everything else, the only slight difference, 5% difference, is in the power to weight, 11 versus 10.5. I don't think that's noticeable, at least in my gameplay. It feels really exactly the same. And you can see both of them have 15 reverse speed. Huge credit coefficient favor, of course, to the VK168, which is important because when you play this tank in other modes, that matters. But the biggest difference is the armor. As you look here, on the left, we have the VK168, on the right, the VK190. Both of these tanks are very armored. Now, the VK168 has advantages in the upper plate. So the upper plate is on the right-hand side there, the VK168, you're in the upper 300s, where the 168 on the left-hand side is in the low 300s. There's a difference there. The 168 does have these kind of spaced armor above the tracks in the front, which is nice. They both have a lower plate that is about 150 millimeters. I don't see a big difference between the two there. The cheeks of the 168 are problematic. They're 235 millimeters on the left-hand side. And you can see the cheeks of the VK160 are the immediate cheeks are, even depending on where you are, in the mid 200s. Then the outer cheeks, because of the angle, are unpennable in the 600s. So the 168 has a different, but it has a much bigger gun mantlet than the VK168. The hatch on the 168 sucks, 121 millimeter. The 190 is about 200. So the 190's got better hatch. You look at the sides; both have the skirt of of spaced armor, and their side armor is about 130. Side turrets. The VK168, you can see that it's in the high 100s, nearly 200. The 190 is about the same thing. The 190 probably, or the VK100 probably has slightly better turret. The rears, the VK100 actually has spaced armor in the rear, which is hilarious. And it is not very thick, but it's spaced. And the rear turret is 145. The rear turret of the 168 is 105. The rear is 120. So those are the differences in the armor. Overall, the VK100P does probably have a slight edge on the total armor, but that is dependent. Let's jump into the second game. We can talk about it some more. Now, in the second game, we have Bane in the canal map. And Bane found himself some less than great teammates. However, there's also some weird lag in this. I don't know why. I apologize. Maybe it's how Bane saw it. I'm not sure how Wargaming does this, but still I think you get the essence of the game. Last thing, by the way, I did not mention in the quick comparison is the VK168 does have 50 more hit points, 50 more hit points than the VK100P, which should be a nice little buffer. I think probably an equalizer, honestly, as the armor goes out. I will tell you, I really, for those of you who argue the VK100 is better, I really think it's you're just mincing words there. I think they're very, very similar. As we see a beautiful shot from Bane into the top, or if you call it the turret, of the Borsig. All right, so Bane goes to a good spot there into the canal. A good spot if you're not going to go up in the hills. And I honestly, the VK168 should not be on those hills at Cap D. So I think Bane did a route here that actually makes a lot of sense for a tank of this size to support his teammates as well, because he can get shots into D. Of course, his teammates are not really in D. They are, I don't know where. I think they died. No, they're not. They're just not there. And Bane finds himself a smasher who hits him for 33 hit points with HE, and that is a beauty of a thick armor. It does not do much. Bane spots a J-Panther as well, and he is going to just tap and kill the smasher, which is a beauty. This thing rams like you would not believe. And, I think that you can just remember how amazing it is when you bump someone going like 10 kph and you give them 100 or 200 damage. It makes a huge difference when brawling. Even big tanks like this E75 TS, you can just cause damage over and over again. And again, Bane is driving there at full speed of the tank essentially, and you notice how small the reticule is, meaning that the on-movement dispersion is still incredibly good. I know I mentioned it's a little bit worse than the VK100P, but it's still very, very good. And if you're close to people, you can drive up and just shoot them, and Bane's not even going to scope that in. 546, catches the other German on fire, which is a common thing, and really probably was a shot of the game that really helped change the outcome of here. Now, it's still a 3-on-3, and Bane's team does have a slight edge on cap points. He aims right here at this 252U, a beautiful shot, 438 roll. And it looks as though this game's a runaway, but it gets a little bit harder. Because what you notice is there's a Type 62 on the opposite team who just clears the Comet. There's a SU-152 over by A on Bane's team that's not really going to be able to do much in that position when people are close to you. In my opinion, that's not where 152 deserves to be. An ISU deserves to be on this map. I mean, there is some considerable lag here. I don't know exactly what the hell was going on. I apologize. But the type, the Type 62 was running away, as you can tell, just in fragments. And he does manage to get away from Bane. And there is, on top of the hill, there's a VK100.01. So that tank sucks. And that actually saved the day. But he was able to cap C and remain full health. And that cap of C becomes important here because of the point differential. It's now just a 50-point differential. So if they were able to cap C and get away and keep 3 bases capped, you had a chance of losing this. Bane quickly realizes this and misses that shot. Who knows, with a slight bit of lag, what we had going on here. There's a beautiful example of why this thing is such a brute, as it bounces a shot from the rear 2 times by the Type 62, and Bane shoots him through the building there. 3rd bounce from the Type 62, and Bane is jumping into cap. The cap lead has not grown materially. We're still at about 50-point differential here, but in the lead. Bane takes a blind shot of the Type 62, hoping for it. The ISU on Bane's team is advancing to base B, hoping to eliminate the pesky Type 62. Bane moves over there and takes aim. As I mentioned, this thing has a terrific cannon, and did shoot him. I have no idea how that went in because of the lag, so, whatever the hell. But a terrific game by Bane. He is the VK168 master, 1377 base, 5 kills, 3,700 odd damage. Now, for those of you who stuck around, I have a special treat. Back at the Nerf Thunderdome from a couple of months ago, Bane and I had a challenge of what is the greatest super heavy in Tier 8. And it wasn't the VK168 and the 100p. It was actually the VK168 versus the KV5. Bane and I went at it for a while. Note the beginning where Bane and Lek say, "I'm going to lose." We will see. Please watch if you haven't seen this before. Thanks very much for watching, and do sub to the channel.
Ronan, it doesn't matter. You're going to lose in the first battle.
I actually agree with that, but...
Hold on, I'm thinking about techniques here. Give me a second.
It doesn't matter. Your pen is shit.
Yeah, well, I shoot heat.
It still doesn't help. I have looked at my tank against that tank on Armor Inspector.
All right, guys, can you ready up? Arthur's not ready, so once again.
No.
Okay.
I was just getting my pepper.
Lek is starting to sound like a tired, grumpy old man.
Yeah, Lek is...
I don't know what would give you that idea.
It's Lek's bedtime. So allegedly, the loser is supposed to sell their tank. We know Bane won't sell his, and I probably won't sell mine. So.
No, mine was less likely to show up than yours.
Apologies, guys. My headphones have died, so you're good.
Arthur, call it.
This is the last match, and we are done. Or I guess
call it.
have 3, and we're done. Sorry.
I'm joined by Her Royal Fluffness, my dog, and we are here today to watch the Battle Royale of 2 unbelievable gravity modes showdown. The big kahunas, the tanks everyone's talking about these days, the KV5 and the 168. Truly the gift from wargaming to us. These tanks were for the fans, baby. They do nothing well. Nothing. There's not a single good thing about either of these tanks, so let's see what happens here.
What do you mean? I got armor. He doesn't.
You do not have armor. You do not have armor. You have bulk.
I have more armor than he does.
Armor block.
Yes, he does. Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Now we can, yeah.
Fortunately, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, look at this. It's perfect. They're brawling on cap. I mean, is there a better place for these 2 gigantic pieces of garbage to go at each other than right on cap?
Now, you notice, hold on, guys. There's a lot of angled plates on the KV5. There's a lot of little sort of like nubbins and nodules and things popping out of it. All of them are
Ooh, Bane. Ooh, Bane.
Bane's in trouble. Ronan with a lead. Oh, Ronan with another hit. Now a 500 hit point lead for Ronan. Bane's in trouble. The heat from the KV5 right through the 168. Oh, he's tracked him by ramming. Oh, another hit. Max rolled him.
Oh,
pretty sure they can go through the front hall, right?
You're selling this thing, Bane. You're selling it.
The hatch. He's tearing his hatch off, but now Bane finally hits Ronan for a big one.
Can he hit him?
Right. No, it wasn't R2D2. Ronan gets him again. Ronan has so many more hit points at this point. I will remind you guys, the KV-5 has the most hit points of any tank in Tier 8.
And it's another bounce and another hit.
KV-5 is consuming the 168 for lunch and not even leaving the bones, folks. It is the beatdown of the century. He is just chewing him alive to that hatch. It's incredible. I mean, the hatch looks like a marshmallow, Bane airball vanilla.
What are you
Missed
shooting
to the
at,
left,
Bane?
Bane.
Oh!
He sure as hell didn't shoot the KV-5. Ronan, one last hat shot for the win. Can he do it?
Let's see if
Run.
this can...
Can you?
Bye.
Just fast.
Somebody's ram killed on 168, folks.
Good dude.
Oh, there is justice in this world. There is
I
justice
can't
in this
point
My
world.
question for you, Let, can the KV-5 pen through, come straight on the front hull of the 168? Was my question.
I don't
No,
think so.
With heat.
No.
No.
All right, so it had to be the hatch. The hatch was the only choice.
Oh, that was so much
So
fun.
why did you go where you went, Bane? Like, why did you go to side
I was gonna try to lure him to come to me.
Oh, Bane.
All right, ready up. Let's go.
Are we-
One more. Well, maybe two.
Arthur,
Arthur?
come on.
3, 2, 1.
Waiting on you again. There we go.
I actually thought we were just saying this was one, but okay, damn it.
I thought it was a one-off, yeah.
I thought it was a one-off.
They said best of
Ronan,
three.
you literally
Best of
said
three. We'll do a best of three. No, it's gotta be a best of three. Let's go.
Ronan, you asked for a best of three, so I'm
just-
not
you
sure what you're asking.
Get off
If
with
you
the
can do it once, you can do it twice.
I hope so.
Ronan just wanted to get off with the victory.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, of course. I would do the
It
same
hasn't
thing.
been the best stream for me.
I'd like to point out, guys, to all our watchers that DarthBane does have the Star Spangled American Tanner on his 168. There's a good reason for that, and it's because he's insane. That's all.
Thank you.
Yes, very good.
Well, you gotta be insane to own the tank, like a certain Arthur.
Bane was a very interesting strategy. I believe it's called the I'm screwed.
What the fuck is he doing?
Oh,
Nobody knows what he's doing,
Sniping! He's sniping! Oh my god. Okay, hold on,
Of
guys.
course he
This
is.
phase 2.
but he's coming out sideways.
This is not Bane's final form. This is phase 2.
Nice
This
shot,
is
Bane.
sniping with a heavy, and we're gonna hit the final form before the end of the match. He has tricks up his
Yes,
sleeve.
and Bane once again has killed more innocent villagers with his tank and has not hit the KV-5.
Yeah.
Another hit.
Work alone.
Oh,
Okay.
big hit! There you go.
Big hit.
These two tanks have the highest hit points at Tier 8, so these matches take an hour.
My opinion is that once
Oh.
it takes block, it's superior in this problem.
The thing is, though, the 168 is not able to really ram damage to the KV-5. They're both very
No,
heavy.
but he's not using his turret the way he should be. He should be
I
bouncing
can't.
Oh, 500. Gigantic hit. That might do it for him. Now Bane has a nice lead
Very
of
nice.
200.
Nice hits.
Ronan coming out sideways. He's going to pay the price for that, especially if he misses. Oh, boy. I think this one's going to the German.
Yeah.
Trading barbs. Look at that. Ronan actually got more damage in the ram.
Might be going to game 3. Upward angle. That's the pressure, right?
Another one. Bane is dialed in.
Yep. Got a lot. Out for blood.
Heat round to the hatch.
Smells it. Smells it. How many HP are we looking at here? 20. 20 HP.
20. Just even a little love tap.
Oh!
Off with his head. All right. Here we go. What everybody wanted. One last match before we call it a night. The grand finale. The two biggest pieces of garbage. Garbage v. garbage. For the win.
We'll find out which one's a bigger piece soon. Arthur, where are you?
Arthur, not ready again. Got about 3 seconds before I throw you in the middle.
How hard is it to
And
ready?
he is out.
No. I'm here.
How hard is it for you to ready up, Arthur?
Can't
I love
focus.
leaving you in suspense, Bang. I love it.
It's not suspense, it's just annoyance. Okay, here we go. One last match for all the marbles. I think the winner will be considered the biggest loser. And here they go.
They could both
Just lose
use to lose some weight, let's face it.
Hey, he's not that fat.
We're talking about the tank. I'm interested in the fact that in both times you guys have rammed each other at speed, the KV-5 did more damage.
It has
That's
more
what was
front
interesting about what I
It
saw.
should not. It should not.
It's a surprise. I admit I was surprised. Almost, Ronan. Almost. That should have hit.
85's got quite a hatch too, so I mean it's easy to overlook. But it's very pennable.
Oh, what? Oh, it's very pennable. I was somehow bouncing all the time off from it.
It can be penned. It's strong. It's not nothing, but it's there.
I want to see what Ronan's going to do here. He doesn't want to pull out. Bane in his favorite spot as a tank destroyer misses. That was close.
I didn't miss. I just bounced.
Oh, it looked like it hit the ground. Yep, you're right. He bounced right off the front hull. I see it now.
That was with APCR, which
Yeah, I
surprised
saw the bounce. Ooh, got the paint too. Not that it's much to look at.
Ronan is using the camo you get from like big hit, but
I know what he's doing.
Yes, I agree, Lek. Ronan's
I know exactly what you're doing, Ronan.
Ronan's sporting the Colostomy Bag Classic camo.
I think that's from Uprising or something.
It's Real Fighter from Realistic.
Realistic, that's right. I've got that in a couple
Maybe
tanks.
slow, Ronan, but you won't cap that thing before I get there.
Bane, I assume, is going to move towards cap. And sometime in the next
Never assume that Bane is going to move any.
75 or so seconds.
Somewhere in this time, there will be a reset, folks.
There will be a reset.
Hang on.
And I believe I'm seeing a large German tank emerging.
We have time for.
I'm not. Oh, and we have a spot. Ronan immediately getting. Oh, he lands a great shot right in between the tracks. Adrenaline is hit. Side scraping. KV5 is a terrific side scraper, just like the KV4. Bane with a massive hit. Ronan replies. That one hit that hit Ronan while he was crossing over the top may be the game difference. I think that will be a costly hit because he is now. He just needs to get a bounce. If he gets a bounce, he's back in it. And he just got one. Can he get a hit though? And he's not. He had his opportunity.
This reverse
that
speed
sigh.
is. I don't understand how Bane can get out of there and I can't reverse forward.
A lot of German horsepower. Oh
my
great
God.
hit by Ronan. And now we are even. We are dead even, folks. A difference of about 20 HP. A love tap. Here we go. 3 minutes, 45 seconds. Both at 1,250 or so hit points around either side of a home whose
I wonder what
residents have clearly committed suicide at this point.
I think Captain America. I saw him jump off the top of Bane's.
Oh, an HE shot. Very interesting. Now he is that HE shot may look stupid, but it's given him the hit point lead.
Yep.
A clever move. Oh, Bane with an unbelievable shot.
Yeah, we call that
may have
luck.
just won the game on that hit.
2-1 on
Wow.
HP. Wow, still nope. HP's evened out. 951 is 817.
That was an AP round right into R2D2,
Here goes the
also
side
known as the
scrape.
nubbin.
Now he's covering the
Bane
hatch.
has missed.
He's covering the hatch now, though. And it's going to start bouncing a lot.
Ronan's hit most of his shots between the tracks, so the hatch does not matter. Bane's coming out sideways, and he takes out 8P round. Ronan's got to cover 8. Oh boy, another shot right into the side of the turret. Ronan's in a bit of trouble.
He's
Going for the hatch. He lands a beautiful hatch shot. Oh, it's a brawl. Oh my god. Both of them are basically a one shot. Both are a one shot. Yep. Going for the hatch. He's going for the hatch. Cover the hatch. Oh, and it's a miss. Oh, 242. He has to use heat.
no
57. He needs a ram. Ronan needs the ram here. Nope.
No.
Can't ram at that speed.
Yes, Bane!
What
Got
a
it.
spectacular shot.
What is your reload? What is your
Incredible.
reload?
Amazing. What a finish.
Oh,
Much.
oh.
Wait, Ronan, what is your reload in that tank right now?
Holy shit. As
Well-
Julius is always saying, I gotta like calm myself. 9.98.
10.
Like 10 seconds.
Yeah, Julius just said 10 seconds. He's correct. 9.9. Yep.
He
that's
was
it.
so aggressive at that point. What I meant is that I think at that point you should have angled in, covered that base.